Final Destination Bloodlines, aka Final Destination Part 6, is the latest in the Final Destination franchise. It's weird that, back in like the early 2000s, we had like a bunch of like Final Destination movies back like every couple of years. It's crazy how it took 14 years later after Part 5 came out that we finally got Part 6. So, this movie, however, is technically it's a little bit different than from the other previous installments. This movie starts out with Breck Bassinger and her boyfriend. Breck Bassinger, I mainly knew her from the Nickelodeon show Bella and the Bulldogs, which was probably one of the last Nickelodeon shows I actually liked. I mean, that's my opinion. She was also in 47 Meters Down, Uncaged, or 47 Meters Down 2. So I think it takes place, from what I looked up, it takes place, I think, like 1960s. So it's her and her boyfriend. They go to like the Seattle Tower or something. I think that's what it was. And it's basically her having like the premonition that the building was going to collapse. And basically it's like 50 years later. I think it's her granddaughter. 50 years later, her granddaughter's like having these like dreams about like this premonition that her grandmother had, and all these people that had died in this accident. And it's basically her trying to get to the bottom why she's having these dreams. And I don't really want to get into too much detail, but it's her. She basically she goes to like, I think it's like her uncle, and it was him basically saying, "Oh, you don't want to visit grandmother. She's kind of nuts." And basically, the grandmother has locked herself in the house over the years because she was like afraid that death was coming for her. And basically, her character was kind of like the Jamie Lee Curtis character in the new Halloween trilogy. That's technically how I felt. What it felt like to me, in my opinion. But again, I don't want to get into too much detail. But I think this is probably like my favorite one in the franchise. Like, no joke. Like, I enjoyed the Final Destination movies. I mean, I think they're all really cool and very creepy. I mean, some of the stuff, like the roller coaster one in Part 3, like, some of them are actually pretty crazy. And actually, possibility that some of that stuff could actually happen. So Final Destination Bloodlines was everything that I expected it to be. And I went to the theater hoping I was going to love it, and that dream came true. I absolutely loved it. It was packed in that theater last night. I mean, I think it was like literally like sold out. But of course, I got the tickets early in advance. And also too, yeah, that's mainly what it was. It was basically, the girl visiting her grandmother, and she's like telling her about death, and that's mainly what it was. And of course, people around her are starting to die off one by one in crazy accidents. And this movie was good, and it was also kind of depressing because, of course, this was actually, from what I heard, I think this was actually Tony Todd's last and final movie. Like actual like final movie. Of course, he came back as his character. I can't remember his character's name, but he was kind of like the guy who worked at the morgue. And this one, he was like kind of like working in the hospital. So you could definitely tell, like, in this movie, he definitely was actually not doing good. He was actually, you could definitely tell he was really sick. Like, you can just like tell he lost all this weight because, like, if you know who Tony Todd is, like, he was like a very big guy. And this one, like, he did not even look the same. He looked like a totally different guy. I mean, you probably wouldn't even tell if it was Tony Todd, but yeah, I absolutely loved it. It was probably, I want to say this was probably the goriest one in the franchise. But I really hope maybe they'll. I'm pretty sure there will be. I don't know yet. It hasn't been confirmed. But I really hope that there'll be a part 7 in the future, because also after seeing this, I'm just like, I really want to see more now, because these movies are just so fun to watch. Um, on a scale of 1 to 10, I mean, I give it a 10. I loved it. I loved, all the other ones, and I love this one. So hopefully, maybe we'll see more of these movies in the future. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching. Let me know what you guys thought about the new Final Destination, Final Destination Bloodlines. And I'll see you guys later.